welcome to Two Non-Doctors. I'm Liz Mealy.
I'm Maria Shahada.
I was in Puerto Rico for 5 days, and as I landed, we got a snowstorm. That's
cool. You're
that's
experiencing
not,
all of the weather in 2025.
Just no. Just a giant no.
Did you start this podcast asking me to feel sorry for you for having spent 5 days in Puerto Rico, and now you've got to deal with the cold?
Yes. That is how I started. But I stand by it.
Okay. You poor baby.
It was cold when I left.
You
I was
had all
hoping
this
it would resolve.
Sunshine. How dare this horrible world take it from you and rip it away and just snow on you. That's so bad. I'm so sorry.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Evan wanted to delay, stay an extra day, and I was like, absolutely not. If they're not worried about it, I'm not worried about it. And it was fine. Most turbulence I've ever experienced on a plane. Fine. Whatever. Okay. I was thinking of you the whole time because it got me. I was like nails in his leg.
He was like, don't fucking look for me for comfort. I want to stay another day.
I wanted to stay. He's like, I don't have a job right now.
Tell me about this turbulence. Walk me through it. What kind of turbulence was it? Were there air pockets? So,
two things. If they warn us beforehand, it doesn't bother me as much. So they said, hey, there's going to be turbulence later in the thing, so we're going to try to get as much done before that. And then an hour before we were landing, they're like, hey, everything's stopped because it's going to be turbulent truly until they basically said the last 20 minutes will be fine, but there's a point. It's like going to the doctor. If you explain everything that's happening, I'm less what are you doing? Why are you poking me?
Sure.
So I felt, it just made me really nauseous, and then it just doesn't feel good. And then it is dark. It's cloudy, scary darkness out around you. And you're just and I knew there was a snowstorm coming, but I stand by leaving when we did. We were leaving the airport. Flights are getting canceled left and right. Danny's supposed to come. She'll hear this. Danny's supposed to come. Her thing got delayed because of snow in Florida, maybe? I don't know. But, she's coming in later. So it's just I know, isn't it a dream to be stuck in Puerto Rico? I did not want to be stuck in Puerto Rico. I wanted to come home. I'm happy to be home. But I was I'm not messing with the flights if they're not saying anything. You know what I mean? They usually, they'll say 2 days before, hey, da-da-da-da. I'm going to trust the meteorologists that they talk to before me looking at an app and deciding if I'm going to delay my flight.
No, I remember that about you. When we were on the West Coast.
That was beautifully passive-aggressive. I love that.
We were on the West Coast, and it was yeah, the good news is that we got updated to first class. We were coming out of Seattle. Bad news is you're flying into a hurricane in LA. So and I was like, maybe we shouldn't fly into a hurricane. You're like, if they're willing to go, I'm willing to go. And because they were giving you the option at that point to change the flight, I think. But you were like, if they're doing it, I'm going.
And then you got to experience first class, and you were the scaredest, happiest person I've ever seen. You're like,
Oh, I loved it. It ruined me forever. Every time I have to go back to coach now, I'm just I know how they're living up there, and I'm unhappy.
I just like the idea that you get on the plane and you're looking down, you're like, you have my seat. It's my seat.
I know. One day it'll be my seat. They're like, it's my seat now, bitch. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. just getting into fight with imaginary rich people.
I do struggle when I see a child in first class. That is hard for me.
Why?
Because
they didn't pay for it. Their parents did.
Sure, but they don't even understand.
Oh, they don't get it.
You know what I mean? It's it's you don't even. First of all, you have so much room, you could put two kids, unnecessary amount of room, and then they're just living in this delusional world, and
She is living in a delusional world, and I am a delusional girl.
You're like, that's who I want to be. I want to be. Why couldn't I have been that delusional child?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
and then
but now you have grit.
I'm strong.
And, you know, get up and go and stuff. So, you know.
I want to get up and go to first class. That's what I want to do.
Okay. All right.
So, you know, I have status on Delta, and so I'll get bumped up, but I get bumped up to like no places we don't want to go to. So like Evan's like, do you think we'll get bumped up? And I was like, when we are leaving New York to go somewhere that somewhere else wants to be, like LA or Puerto Rico or whatever, it's always a jam-packed flight and we will not get bumped up. You have to, because he's always like, did you get bumped up? And I was like, yeah, to Columbus, Ohio. But like,
okay, well, first of all, why are we throwing Columbus under the bus? It's a great place.
It's a great place. It's a great place. It's not a full flight. Muffin, it's not a full flight.
Not a full flight city. I get it. But that's because everyone is wrong.
They are. Absolutely. Support Columbus. But like, it's, you know what I mean? I'm going to Des Moines and I'm getting bumped up. I'm never getting bumped up on the way home. I'll tell you that. Everybody's leaving Des Moines quickly. Mm-hmm. Sometimes my 6 a.m. flight, like sometimes my crazy early flights, because I'm crazy. But I don't.
Yeah. And so you're just managing his expectation. And
I was going to say, when we first started dating, he decided to come on the road with me like after the fact, and I was already bumped up to, I think, Comfort Plus, and so I was like, well, I'll come down to you. I'll come down. But in coming down to him, I had to get rid of my Comfort Plus on the way back because we were leaving separately, and he was like, you don't have to do that. And I was like, first of all, it is what it is. Like, I'm not going to just, we're early in this relationship. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that this doesn't bother either of us. But also, I would like forever for you to know the sacrifice I made, because both ways I came down to
I wish I could have been there for Evan at that point. I would have been like, she will come down to coach. She will. But you will never hear the end of it.
Ever.
So you have to decide.
And I did not do that for TSA pre, and he got TSA pre. I was like, I've abandoned my mother in that line. I do
You've
not wait.
Abandoned me. Yeah. There you go. Never. Off. Just like, you're just from past security. You're like, bye, bitch. I'm like, get me a coffee.
I was like, I'll get you too. Never waiting in that line. I can't.
And 400 people in line with me are like just looking back at me. I'm like, she's my friend, I think.
Yeah, I think. I don't. Actually, is she boarding a different flight? What is happening? That's my coffee.
I got Comfort Plus, bye.
But you've lived in London for what, 8 years now? Mm-hmm. I've always said Europe, or at least where we would tour in Europe, had a more mild winter. I don't know if you even have anything to compare it to at this point, as somebody that went from LA to London, but you lived in New York and Ohio. Like, I feel like at least England has a more mild winter than New York.
It's way more mild. Oh, yeah. New York and Ohio get like kind of the extremes, but London's mild. London's like mild all year round. It's like the same shit weather all year round. It's like 50 and gray all year round.
Which is so weird that you went from like 70 and sunny, and then you were like, it's too much. I can't handle it. I want a different consistency.
You can see I needed therapy, because I was like, I think London's more my vibe. I deserve to be miserable.
You're like, if I'm angry, the weather should also be angry.
Exactly.
But it's like a low hum of disgruntled, like, as opposed to like places that have hurricane seasons. I feel like hurricane seasons are like these bipolar, erratic, you know what I mean? As opposed to like New York. I mean, even New York is like, gah, gah. And then you just have LA that's just like, we're pretending. Everything's okay. And I just feel like London sits in it. It's like, it's not okay. We're not flipping out, but it's also not okay.
Yeah, but they're all drunk.
Oh, that's true.
So nobody's feeling anything. Everybody
lost their keys. Everybody's just like, if you see my keys, not a big deal.
I'll get in. There's a window. I don't know. It's fine.
Yeah,
everything's fine.
None of them lock. This is going to sound crazy. Do I wish it was warmer, especially since it's like outside is covered in snow and it is quite cold, and I had to really gear up to go to the grocery store this morning. I don't enjoy the cold at all. But I don't know if I need fake getaways of warmth.
All right, wait, what are you saying? You don't need to go on vacation?
if I was gonna go on vacation, like when I used to tour, like me and Evan were talking about this, like he didn't experience like 4 winters in a row because he would go on, like he can work remote, so he would just go somewhere for a couple of months and go work there. So he'd go to LA or he'd go to wherever. And I was touring in a way that, like, I was in Australia for like a month and a half during a winter. I was in Europe for a month and a half during a winter. Like, I just kind of missed the extreme of winters for a couple of years. And that's the way to do it. But like, to be gone for 5 days, it just like...
Oh, I see. Vacation's like a bath to you. Just really like, I can't just sit here and just do nothing in the warmth.
Kind of. It really is. I learned a lot about myself this week, and it's not great.
Yeah. Yeah. You have trauma and anxiety.
I don't know if I learned that as much as I was like, oh, it materializes in other unhelpful ways. But I feel like when you travel or vacation, you're in it. You're like, this is who I am, even if it's just for 2 days. Mm-hmm. Like, I feel like you become Parisian. You're like, I'm in Paris. This is who I am.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've got the striped shirt on and the beret and the like, and then I quit smoking 2 days later.
Yeah. The adaptability and excitement. I don't know. Like, I get really stressed 2 days before the end of any kind of vacation because I'm like, oh, all this, I have to do laundry, I have to do this, I have to, you know what I mean? Oh, these emails, I pretended this wasn't, like, I came home in, like, a whirlwind of, like, cleaning and emails.
Okay, so you have, like, kind of a well-oiled machine of life, like, all the tasks you have to do and everything that is, that gets done with you on a daily basis is sort of it's not even well-oiled, it's just on a belt. And if you miss the belt, it's that episode of I Love Lucy where she can't keep up with the chocolate. So she starts eating it and putting it in her shirt. And that's you going on vacation.
I'm like, all these emails.
Whereas I just watch the chocolate fly off the belt and I might have some. I'm like, what does it matter? It's all on the floor.
Yeah. I'm just always trying to, like, clean up impending chaos, and you're like, this isn't my chaos.
Or if it is my chaos, oh well, I'm not going to do anything about it. But there was, do you know, the holistic psychologist, like, posted a video. She was like, watch me drop this water on the floor. And then she just drops a whole glass of water on the floor. She's like, how did you react? You know, because, like, we're supposed to be watching going, what are you doing? Or she was actually talking about, like, how you would react, like, no one's going to come in and yell at you. No one's going to, like, be like, you fucked everything up. Nothing's going to happen. There's just water on the floor. It was kind of cool. But, like, yeah.
But, you know, when you, like, I was watering my plants and being really lazy about it because I'm just a very lazy plant parent to begin with. And I have to take one of these down because it's like a pot in a pot, right? So I have to take it down to see the inner circle pot and make sure I get the water in. But I didn't want to do that. So I just kind of got up on my tippy toes and I just kind of guessed. And I was like, nailed it. And then I turn around and I just hear a waterfall of water streaming down because I completely missed. Totally missed. And I was like, fuck, Liz. It would have taken 5 extra seconds to pull over a stool and do it right or pull it down, and you did that. And it's like that inner monologue of, like, when I half-ass something or make a mistake is always like, fucking fucklit. Like, it's like that kind of, I don't need anybody to yell at me. I've never needed anybody to yell at me. I do it all myself. Like, it's always like when a comment's mean to me and I was like, hey, I don't need your help hating me. That's not it.
No, I got this. Don't worry about a thing.
Please, I do not need help.
I hate myself. What was it? What was the TV show? I think it was Veep, where Anthony Hale's character, like, Julia Louis-Dreyfus was about to yell at him, and he's like, nobody hates me more than me.
Truly.
And that's exactly how we feel all the time.
It's so funny when somebody's mean to me online, and I'm like, you don't think I said that to myself?
Yeah.
You're like, you are more unnecessary than you think you are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there was like a cute little meme or not meme, like a cute little video that went viral of this like little boy, let's say 3 years old, and he has like a cup of water and he wants to go put it in his like cat's bowl or whatever, or dog's bowl. And the mom's just like, okay, you're doing good, but just, make sure you hold it up straight. And he spills a little, and she's like, it's okay, just keep going. And when he goes to look at the spill, he dumps the whole thing. And it's just like, cutest thing ever. And then he's just like, oh no. Like, he was like, ah. But the whole time you're watching it, like the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, no. Like, I'm like, why are we trusting this kid? I know we're building skills. But I'm just like, it was adorable, but I was tense the whole time watching it.
I'm listening to an audiobook called Let Them. Mel Robbins, I think that's her name.
Yeah,
She's
I like her.
Wisconsin. Yeah, I like her too. So it's just all about like, just let them. Just let it go. Like, and then, so you could probably stand a little bit of that. Because she was like talking about her son going to prom, and there's like 20 of his friends, and they're like, we think we're going to go to this taco place. She's like, the taco place that sits 6 people. You're going to have 20 of your friends without a reservation go to a taco place that sits 6 people. It's raining outside, and you're all going to get wet. And then like, she's like, wait, okay.
Have fun. Enjoy your wet tacos.
Yeah. Enjoy your wet tacos is like what would be at the end of this episode if I were still doing this little clips at the end.
Enjoy your wet tacos. It's
so nice, but such a horrible image.
It really could not be more disappointing than a wet taco. I don't think it ever goes away, because I think the best thing therapy has done for me is I have the reaction, right? Maybe not openly, but I have the reaction. You, knowing me as well as you do, sees it in my eyeballs. You know what I mean? Where I'm saying nothing, but my eyes are like, but no reaction.
Not subtle. Yeah.
Not subtle. I just truly cannot hide. No, not very good at lying, but I'm good at holding back now. Like, I can keep it. There's a couple under the, like, are you fucking like, that comes out sometimes at airports and whatnot. But for the most part, I keep it in. I have the reaction, and then I'm brewing, right? Because it's just inside me, and I feel like the steam thing that's supposed to whistle isn't allowed to whistle. So it's just like bubbling, and I'm uncomfortable. And then I have to be the one that's like, does it, in the scheme of life, does this matter? Are you ever going to see this person again? Is this really that big of a deal? Are you going to let this ruin your day? Are you going to ruin someone else's day because of how you know what I mean? And then I can kind of get down, maybe not completely, but either to a simmer, or like a baby, like a child, distract myself so that I'm not, like, I have a stupid game on my phone. I mean, when we got Turbulent, I put my book down, I couldn't focus, and I played a stupid game. Or like,
I go into freeze mode completely. I like literally will just be like, yeah, I'm just staring. I am just staring straight ahead, to the point where the lady, I told you, like, how the lady on the last flight I was on, like, looked at me and she was like, are you okay? And I was like, no.
Thank you for noticing. As you're just like crying.
Oh my God, I'm not.
Was it the whimpering? What made you feel that
way? Yeah, I can't do anything. I can't watch anything. I have to like turn off the TV because I'm just like. But yeah, so you're self-regulating, self-managing, self-soothing.
Yeah, self-managing. Yeah, I couldn't do it before. I'm slightly, but like, I think the disappointment I felt over the years is I thought I wouldn't even have a reaction. And sometimes they are more muted. Like, if I am well rested and, I'll be like, like, I can, it has to be a certain situation. I have to be in like the right headspace. But for the most part, I still have the reaction internally. And then it's the amount of time decreasing it. Like, there is one of my favorite Mark Maron bits. It is so perfect, where he basically said therapy has helped me go from the time between, something happening and telling somebody to go fuck themselves and then apologizing has gotten, he's like, you know what I mean? I'll fucking kill, I'm so sorry. Like, he's like, that has gotten shorter and shorter.
Oh, that's funny. I would have thought it was something happening and telling him to go fuck themselves was getting longer and longer. But no, he still does that right away. But
still does it right away. But the apology, it used to be a week away. So you know, it used to be like 40 years away, because that's how he started his podcast, was just apologizing to people he was an asshole to. But like, it went to the point where now it's like, and I've definitely like snapped at my brother and been like, you didn't deserve that. I'm sorry. I'm tired. That's stupid. You know, like, so I think that I very much relate to that, where it's just like, I haven't solved the problem. I just fix it quicker.
Yeah. That's good. That's progress. There's nothing wrong with that. That's something. Girl. Probably have time to think about it. You know, when you're past security and the person you love the most in the world is still in line. In the back.
That's what I do. I keep a distance. I like to pick a fight right before we split. And I have 20 minutes.
But you also have 20 minutes to think about it and brew. And yeah.
Maybe find someone else to be angry about. A TSA agent. A person in front of me. Why hate the people you love when you can hate people you'll never see again and really villainize them? That's the way to do it.
Yeah, well, that's the motto of everyone online. But
are you getting excited for your BBC thing to come out?
Yeah, I am. No, I am. I'm happy. I don't know, the dance you're doing is making me happy. But I'm actually, can I be honest?
I'm ready.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous about how it's going to be edited. I'm nervous they're going to use jokes that I don't like as much as other jokes. I'm nervous they're going to cut out a punchline because they don't understand it's a punchline. Sorry, editor. I don't know who you are, so it's nothing personal.
No, but that's, if they're anything like Comedy Central editors from the late 90s, early 2000s, they wildly did that shit. And you're just like, I'm sorry, are you rewriting my jokes? Yeah. With a stopwatch of some sort?
Yeah. I think next time there's a strike, and we're looking at terms, I think the union people should also put in, comedians get to choose their editors. Because there are editors who are funny and no funny.
As someone that dates an editor, I am so fortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, I honestly feel so. I think after I did live at Gotham on Comedy Central, you could say what bit you wanted cut, because they were going to cut bits.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And then I think something else I was able to get the final say. There was one I wasn't, and it's just atrocious. On top of the fact that they put extra canned laughter in it. And I was like, I'm sorry, did you just like have a child laugh in a corner? And then it was like so bad. And I was like, there was an audience. I got laughs. And this sounds so...
I was just watching a show on BBC where they were in a mattress store, and then like one of the guys said twat, and then all these people in the background off screen go, oh, and I was like, how many people are in this mattress store? It sounded like 40 people gasped.
That was like, somebody was just like, yeah, people would gasp, and you're like, context, dude. There's never more than 4 people in a mattress store at any time.
Yeah, like, did you go to the bathroom when you're like telling your assistant, like, find a gasp sound? And they're like, this one. It's like a stadium of people gasping.
And you're like, what is happening? Insane. No, but I mean, even with my specials, you know, my friend Zachary edited 3, so that's 3 that I got to be like yes no, and then Evan of course did the last one, same kind of thing. But there's an ease to, there's different brains, obviously, right? So they're seeing and hearing stuff that we're not paying attention to, and vice versa. And especially with legacy TV, traditional TV, I understood the cuts were because at 22 and 15 seconds, there needed to be a commercial break. But it's like, as somebody that's had to cut their bits down for Reels being a minute and a half, or TikTok that was 3 minutes, let me decide what gets cut. Like, don't cut the end, the punchline. You're just like, oh my God, that's not where to cut. Cut me giving too much explanation about my cat, but don't cut the punch. You're just like, I remember.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Dude, I remember Maz Jobrani, Axis of Evil, like special, where all four of them had 15 minutes or whatever. And at the end of his set, people went wild. Like, it was this huge, I think Maz was the last comedian. Audience is erupting, going nuts. And I remember watching it and being like, I mean, it's funny, but I didn't think it was that big. And then he went online afterwards and was like, they cut the setup where the punchline that you heard was the callback. So it doesn't make sense to at-home audiences. And I was furious for him. So it's like, it makes it look like manipulation. It makes it look like these people aren't that funny, and it makes it look like he doesn't know what he's talking about. And it's just like, no, like, who made that decision?
It's so true. They're totally looking at different things. It's like when you're like getting your like shots professionally done, and then the photographer shows you, and they're like, I really like this one. You're like, the one where I'm picking my nose. That's the one you like? And they're like, oh, I didn't even really
authentic.
I was just paying attention to like how the light hit you perfectly there, and I was looking at they were just looking at 1,000 other things, and I'm just looking at my face, and I'm like, my face doesn't work. I'm sorry.
I'm mid sneeze, looking like I'm having an aneurysm. You're like, yes. Do you see the twinkle in the iris? Like, that's.
I got a key light right there. It's perfect on the back of it's giving you a halo effect, and I'm like, mid sneeze.
But saying there was
but that's exactly. Oh, go ahead.
No, you say what you're saying.
No, I was just gonna kind of round out, but there's a photographer.
No, there's a photographer that took a bunch of pictures of me, and they're taking the getting ready shots, the like figuring out the lighting shots. I don't know what that word is, but. Which is fine. And I do like those because I'm like talking to Neil, the opener, and people are like, hey, we're starting in 10 minutes. So there is like this authenticity as he's like getting stuff ready or whatever. And some of them were interesting. But it's like cropped in a way where like I'm hanging over myself. Like, you know what I mean? You're like, either you crop it or we pick a picture where I'm looking at the camera, because otherwise I look as discombobulated as I actually was in real life, and that's not what I'm trying to present in these pictures. I'm not trying to present perfection, but I'm not trying to present like fall. Like it was just one of the, and he was like, this is my favorite, and I was like, you will never post this ever. not even in a lookbook. No one will ever see it.
However, a booker will find it 20 years later and be like, this is the photo.
100%. 100%. It's wild how many professional, nice pictures that I feel pretty in, and every poster is like some picture from 20 years ago. Thank you for thinking I didn't age, but 20 years ago, where I'm like doing a podcast and someone's like half in front of my face and I'm angry, and it's like, what are we doing, guys? You know that's not the best picture. You know it. How did you get that? Insane.
I'm also not looking forward to the photos that I took that night, because I was just being dumb, but like he was like, yeah, that, and I was like, okay. Like,
well, this rubber chicken, and you're like,
yeah, I mean, I shouldn't have brought the rubber chicken.
Every time. I think it was 30 Rock, where like she had some catchphrase on a TV show blow up, and then she became like even bigger as a comedy writer. She like wrote a book, and so then she's taking pictures, and like I think the one that's beautiful, they keep trying to get her to hold the rubber chicken. She's like, absolutely not. And Tina Fey's like, I will. And so she's like humping a rubber chicken. It's just a perfect example of somebody's like, I'm not playing that game. Like, I know what you're going to try to do to funny women. And she's like, attention. Whatever you want.
Wait, was it Tina Fey's character or the other girl, the blonde girl?
Tina Fey's character is like, I'll do whatever you want, because she was always in the background. Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. So it was a storyline.
Yeah. And then, of course, they used the ugly rubber chicken picture. Always.
Of course they did.
Always.
Yeah, so they're going to be going like, ah.
Yeah, no pretty. You can't be pretty in comedy. We should do announcements. When does this come out? Okay, when this comes out, I will be in Janesville, Wisconsin that weekend. So January 31st to February 1st, I'm in Janesville, Wisconsin. And then I'm going to be in Rutherford, New Jersey for Valentine's Day weekend. And then I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm in Miami. And then there's a bunch of stuff in April. I believe I just added Los Angeles, and I think I'm going to be in Salt Lake City early May. Added some stuff. It'll be on the website. Link soon. LizMealy.com.
Cool. My Live at the Apollo will be out. Sorry, when does this come out? Is it the 4th 28th. Of February? The 28th, right. Okay, so it's coming out tonight.
Oh, you were like, when is this coming out? I was like, what?
Sorry, when
I thought you didn't know. I thought you didn't know what date. But no, I think this should come out like 2 days before your thing comes out.
No, it comes out the same day.
Oh.
Tonight. So if you're listening to it on the day it comes out, tune in to BBC if you're in London, and if you're somewhere else, I don't know. I'll find out. And then, next day, tomorrow, I'll be at the Bill Murray doing a reading of my sitcom Gemini Books about an occult bookstore. It's fun. It's a fun script, guys. It's fun. And then just look on my website, mariashahada.com.
Yeah. Follow us.
Okay. Follow us on Instagram at 2nondrs, the number 2 non-DRS. Everything else, except we're not on Twitter anymore, at 2nondoctors, the number 2 non-full-word doctors. And you can email us at 2nondoctors@gmail.com. It's the number 2 non-full-word doctors.
Thanks to our patrons. Thanks to people tipping us on YouTube. We appreciate you guys. So patreon.com/2nondoctors. And then just on YouTube, you can leave tips and whatnot.
Thanks, guys.
I'll do my Google first.
Yeah, mine's simple. So
is mine. And I actually now think I might have Googled it before. Maybe I'm just going in circles at this point. So, in Puerto Rico, Evan, we were driving in certain areas at night, and the lighting in general is not great, but it would be a red light district. All the lights are red, and he's like, it's always kind of spooky and weird. And I was just like, well, there's legit has to be a reason why there's red lights. And there absolutely was. It's to save the turtles. It's 100%. Where's my Googly Googs?
Wait, was it also the red light district?
The red light district is in Amsterdam, where...
Okay, so there's no Puerto Rican red light district. So you're just saying there's just a bunch of red lights.
Oh, yeah. I was calling it the red light district.
All right.
And
just
now
to save people from being halfway through their booking to Puerto Rico, there's no red light district.
There's no red light district unless there could be some professional turtles out there. I'm not judging. Maybe it's decriminalized. So the red lights are primarily used to protect nesting sea turtles, as the red light spectrum is less disruptive to their natural behavior, preventing them from becoming disoriented by the white lights while searching for nesting sites on the beach at night. So, where we were staying was truly 5 minutes from the beach. But it's you would see certain businesses had red lights at night. The street lamps when you're driving had red lights. And it's just it does seem a little, it's truly not very helpful when you're driving, and then it's kind of spooky, and then of course made me think of red light district in Amsterdam. But then as soon as you hear that, you're just like, that's so cute. I don't know why it has to be red. I think maybe they said it's just the you still can see, yet it doesn't disturb them. I was like, have we tried other lights? Could we put maybe like a Christmas
How does purple
theme
work?
to it?
Yeah,
Huh?
yeah. How does purple work?
Yeah, exactly. I think purple might be purple feels fun. Red feels ominous. But I did see some turtles. I saw a lot of cats. I met a very friendly cat that literally followed me to the car, and then I had to give fish to, so like I didn't run over it.
Doesn't sound friendly. It sounds like it bullied you into feeding it.
No, I mean, I found it, I coerced it into loving me. I pet it for like 5 minutes, and then when we went to get into the car, it was like, friendship? And I was like, oh, no. I misled you. I'm so sorry. This was temporary. I'm not into looking for like a long-term cat right now. I actually have two. I know that's wild because I came to you. I know my profile was like looking for any cats. That was wrong of me. And then I literally took some fish from Evan's leftovers, put it on the sidewalk, and then we like jumped in the car. And I was like, bye forever. I felt really, I just didn't want to run over it. I was so scared we were going to run over this cat that I just fell in love with. It was so sweet. But yeah, turtles and cats. That is Puerto Rico. And, you know, I also looked up when I was there. I just didn't feel like I saw any mammals. Like I felt like, other than, like you see horses and cows and cats and dogs. Like you see these kind of domesticated animals. But I was like... And then you see lizards everywhere. But I was like, are there no like squirrels or like a fox or anything? And they're like, really isn't. Like they have sea mammals.
Oh, okay.
And then they have a bunch of reptiles and what have you. But like, there's not a lot of indigenous mammals that like they didn't, like they brought the chickens. Well, chickens aren't mammals, but you know, they brought these other land creatures. But like, I kind of was like, why haven't I seen a squirrel for 5 days? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I would trade in squirrels and foxes for some sea creatures. That's fun.
Sure, it's different. It's different, but like I'm like, do they got tigers here? Where's the fun stuff?
Yeah. But it'd have to be in my back garden. It'd have to be like just like some like sea lion just like, hey.
Hey, are you gonna have that coconut?
I just have to squirt it down every day. Yeah, you're not gonna
these are my
get off my
burrito. Yeah, I was like so curious. Like you just have this moment where you're like, oh, I haven't seen like deer. Like that was like the first thing I thought of. I was like, do they not have deer here? And they don't.
Yeah. No, crazy.
Yeah.
That's why they got to protect the turtles. That's all they got.
Yeah, bro. That's all they got.
All right. Should I do mine?
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of boring, actually. So I remember last week when I said I went and I held some metal rod and they told me I was anemic. Yeah. And I got blood tests done and I am not anemic. So it turns out metal rods don't know anything. I'm
sorry. I don't know why that's so funny to me. We were like, this rod's amazing. It's incredible. It could change your life. It's just a rod. Yeah. I think I got conned.
It turns out, yeah, I definitely got conned. It'll save me a lot on vitamins, though. So I don't have that. But okay, so what I did was I bought a walking pad. You know, you have like a walking running pad, which I didn't realize.
Like a little treadmill.
Yes, a little treadmill, but it doesn't have handles. But what I didn't realize is that mine doesn't go as fast as yours. So it's like you can get a good brisk walk going, but you can't run, which is fine because that's when it's dangerous anyway. It goes up to 9 kilometers an hour, and I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either.
I'm pretty sure it's just like 6 miles per hour.
I can get to like a decent jog. I don't think I could like sprint on mine, but I briskly walk and then I do a decent jog.
Yeah. It's about 6 miles per hour, but yeah. Okay. I could get a good jog on yours. This is just a brisky walk, which is a little disappointing, but so I bought ankle weights because I thought it would make it a little harder. Oh, thanks. That's nice of you to say that. However, the internet disagrees that that's a good idea.
Why?
Apparently, you're not supposed to walk with ankle weights or do the walking pad because there'll be an imbalance of muscle, so it would work your quads too much while your hamstrings didn't do anything, and which can lead to pain and stress and all that stuff.
Okay. First of all, how heavy are they?
They're just 1.5 kilograms each. Let me see what that is in pounds.
In English, motherfucker. English. I don't know why I'm angry about it.
English, motherfucker, do you speak it? So they're 3.5 pounds each, basically, just under that.
Okay, I mean, that's a little heavy. But the other thing is you could hold them in your hands. Like, there's, like...
Yeah.
I understand what they're saying. My follow-up questions would be for how long does that disproportion happen, right?
Yeah.
And then...
Like, you mean, like, how long would it take before you
start to do some kind of imbalance in your muscles that they were saying?
The thing is, I don't see why. Because, like, I'm using my leg as I would normally use it. There's just more weight. So, but all the muscles would be working together to carry that weight. So I don't understand why there would be an imbalance.
I don't either, and I don't understand either. But then I also think when I work out, like, you would hold like a plate and maybe you would do lunges, or you would hold a plate and you would whatever, or like in CrossFit you do, like a farmer's walk where you hold stuff. So like I don't see why you can't. I think anything weighted has benefits. As a non-athletic person.
As a non-doctor.
But if it's saying that having it on your legs, I mean, to me, I can only see that, like, I don't know either. But worst case, I would it's 6 extra pounds and I would carry it or put it on your shoulders.
Oh, on your shoulders is interesting. They did say that you could get a weighted vest that would be more even. But it's like, I just bought the weighted ankles. It's like,
but they're probably like yeah, I know. It's where you're just like, I buy the right
every time you look and do anything good for yourself, you look on the internet and they're like, that's bad and here's why, and you're like, I'm just so sick of
and we don't take returns.
yeah.
But no, if there is any kind of Velcro, like almost like when you put like an ice pack on your neck, you could just Velcro it and just put it like in, and then you got like a little vest.
You're so smart.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
We're fixing problems. Innovative. Life hack. Athletic life hack. Sorry, too much shoulders in this episode. I feel good. I feel like we learned things. I feel like I'm, even when I was on my impromptu vacation mode, which it wasn't, it just happened because our LA trip got canceled. I ate pretty healthy. I was really proud of myself.
Nice.
I'm continuing to do that.
I think I might go keto for a bit.
Ooh. Okay. All right.
Well, we can talk about it next time.
I'm not fully there, but we'll check back in.
Okay.
But thank you so much, everybody. Thank you for listening. We will be back next week.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.